I'm Luke Beard.
I'm Chris Green.
I'm Riley Gunter.
And we are the Backups.
Backups.
Oh, it feels so weird without him. We've lost a man. One of the backups is now going to the reserves. So we're not sure when he'll be back, if he'll be back, but I'm assuming we'll get him for a couple episodes. So. But now it's three-man crew. We're happy to have three men still.
Yep.
So let's kick into college football. Clemson beat NC State 59-35, and the second, just fantastic offensive display for the Tigers in 2 games. And after the Georgia game, I didn't really see that coming.
Yeah.
I knew obviously it was Georgia, so we weren't going to play great against them. But I didn't see just the whooping that we put on both App State and then NC State right after. I just didn't expect that from a Clemson offense that struggled in the past couple of years.
I think the main thing is I feel like the Cade that played against Georgia is a different Cade than we've seen the past 2 weeks.
Right.
Especially the past 2 games, a different Cade from all of last year. He had that one really nice touchdown pass to Antonio Williams where he rolled out of the pocket and threw it. He's not making that pass at all 2 years ago.
Even the rushing touchdown he got was impressive. And my worry about this game was that, we coming off a bye, so that momentum that we had for the App State game might not carry over, but it carried right on over without any problem. So
it's odd watching our team play with a good offense because we haven't seen that.
In a long time.
I haven't seen this type of caliber of offense and some of the plays we're running since, of course, Trevor was here.
Yeah.
Especially the App State game when we're doing trick plays. We haven't done that, since Trevor was here.
My whole time being here, I ain't seen us run one trick play, other than DJ punting the ball. That's the only.
And the score looks a little bit more closer than what it actually was.
The game was over in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's that second and third string defense. Not that they let us down because they played well.
It's not like they're letting us down. It's that they're going to get scored on, and it's just kind of expected at that point that, when we have all of our backups in at the beginning of the second half, that we're not going to stop them. They're starters every single possession. They kept the starters in the whole game. So I wasn't shocked.
Just glad to see a beat down against Dave, just like NC State's coach with passion.
Dave Dorn. And then Louisville defeating Georgia Tech 31-19. I don't know if that really surprised anybody. I think Louisville's a really solid team. They'll be one of the front runners for the ACC. I think it's Clemson, Louisville, and Miami that really have a chance of making the playoffs. Outside of that, I don't think anyone else has a shot.
Yeah, I don't really see it myself.
I think going forward, they're going to be our toughest game the remainder of the season.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I agree.
Just look like a team. A good team.
They got a big game coming up against Notre Dame. That's the first real test.
Yeah,
I think that'll show how good they really are.
Yeah.
Because Georgia Tech, although is a solid team, I don't think is quite at
As a test,
level
it's
right
not
now.
a test compared to Notre Dame.
No, yeah, I agree.
So at the beginning of the season, I would have thought Georgia Tech, coming off that FSU win, really good team playing this Louisville.
But then we figured out FSU.
But then FSU might be one of the worst college teams I've ever watched play football.
Then Tennessee defeating Oklahoma 25-15. I thought it was going to be much
better.
Yeah, I thought Tennessee was going to destroy them. I didn't think it was going to be close. So I think 10 points is pretty impressive for an Oklahoma team that hasn't had great offensive success. They're benching Jackson Arnold for the next game against Auburn. So
their backup quarterback looked looked a little bit better than.
And that's why I think they decided to bench him because Auburn.
Their quarterback, it seemed like.
Yeah, you need to win an SEC game, and I think Auburn's a good one to go in and kind of show that you're still here, even though you did lose to Tennessee, who I think is a playoff team.
Yeah.
I was a bit surprised because I was expecting this Tennessee offense to put on some more points.
Yeah.
Because they have such a good quarterback.
It is a really good Oklahoma defense. So Brent Venables has really helped shape that team, that program. Missouri defeating Vandy 30-27. That's despicable.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a playoff team, and you're supposed to be a top 10 team. People hyping you up all season,
and you went on a missed field goal
against Vandy.
Yeah.
A team that lost to Georgia State, by the way.
Close week, I will say, because Boston College is a good team, and they get a good game. But
Missouri ended up pulling away in that game, but still, Boston College had its opportunity for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Vandy's a solid team this year, but you're still supposed to beat Vandy by 30.
Yeah.
Colorado beating Baylor in overtime 38-31. That was the end of that game was just magic. It was
crazy.
I don't know how to describe it. You miss one for sure touchdown. Receiver drops it on the 2, and then
bounce back.
Yep, next play, just right in his hands. Shador threw a perfect ball.
And finding out that throw was made it while it was raining too made it even more impressive.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny and ironic that it came out that the play that Baylor ran defensively right before that touchdown that they
Victory
scored was,
toast.
I think it was like Victory Cigar or something like
Victory
that.
Cigar, and
Lord.
then they lost. It was a prevent defense, and I hate prevent defense because stuff like this can happen. You can get through cracks really easily, and these guys are getting momentum coming up the field and prevent, even though their safety's sitting back there. I think it's the worst defensive scheme in football for reasons like this, even though it's supposed to prevent you from getting these long,
But sometimes it don't.
Hail Mary. No, it doesn't work because, first off, you have to have the guys who can bat the ball down, and clearly they didn't do that.
They didn't do that at all.
And then you have to have guys who know where to position, and they didn't do that either. And it's a bad defensive scheme. And it loses a lot of teams a lot of football games. Michigan defeating USC 27-24. I thought USC was going to beat them pretty soundly. I think Miller Moss is a really good quarterback, but Michigan's shown they're still around. I mean, I don't think they're here, but they are
But they
around.
still around.
Yeah.
I mean, and that win was so impressive to me because that quarterback didn't even throw for 100 yards. They won the game by running the ball.
They have another J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. But at least J.J. McCarthy could throw for over 100 yards. So.
I know, they have a handoff merchant.
Yeah.
That's what Michigan's going to be. It's going to be a handoff team. They don't have really good quarterbacks. I think they should be starting Alex Orji. I think
He did start.
Oh, he did start?
Yeah, he did start, yeah.
Well, I'm glad they started him.
He can't throw a forward pass.
He can't throw great, but he can move. He
Yeah.
can move in the backfield.
And he taller than 5'10".
Yeah, the other guy can't throw and he can't move, and he's not very.
He can't see over the offensive line. So.
Yeah. And then Clark Atlanta defeating Bethune-Cookman. I think we're only putting this on here because of the crazy field goal that was made to win the game. I think it was, 55-yarder, and none of us thought it was going to go. It was clear, too.
Yeah.
It was a great kick.
Great kick.
And it was, I don't even know how that game showed up. We were just watching multi-view, and we were all like, hold up.
Popped up,
And we all just like honed in on that one game. It was crazy.
Never would have thought that ball was
No.
going in.
It was a beautiful kick.
Yeah, it was
I
beautiful
mean,
kick.
that guy has a chance to make it to the league just off that alone. I saw someone's kicker miss a 55-yarder this week. I can't remember who it was now.
No, Justin
Maybe the
Tucker.
Chargers?
No, Justin Tucker missed a few, but I don't know if there's.
I don't think it was a 50-yarder.
I saw someone miss a 50-yarder this week, and I was like, well, he probably shouldn't be in the league. I think it was a Thursday night game, actually. I don't
Probably.
remember who's playing Thursday night.
The Jets and the Patriots.
I don't remember who it was. Maybe the Patriots game?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
To the NFL, or actually, hold up. College football, who do you have as, give me just your top 4 playoff teams that you think are just locked in already?
I mean, Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama. And it's a toss-up. Because, I didn't even say Texas. Yeah, so Texas, that's my 4.
I don't like the idea of 3 SEC teams being in my top 4, but I feel like it's hard not to have Bama, Georgia, and Texas all in there. I would say Ohio State. I'd put Miami in, but I'm just.
We'll figure that out by the ACC.
I'm not sure because I feel like the ACC can be a toss-up this year. Yeah. I think this is probably the best Miami team we've seen in a while.
A long time, yeah.
I agree. I'll say Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, Miami. I think even Miami, if they lose to Clemson in the ACC championship, who I think will be the ACC championship game, that they still make the playoffs. Because a one-loss team in the ACC championship is a top 12 team.
I think most, predictions right now have both us and Miami making it.
I think 2 ACC teams make it. I think, obviously, the one group of 5, probably 6 SEC, 5 or 6 could make it. I think Georgia makes it. I think Bama probably makes it. I think Texas makes it. I think Ole Miss probably makes it. I think Tennessee makes it. And then whoever the group of 5 it is, either Boise State or someone else that I liked that's been playing good football recently. Maybe one of the service academies. Army and Navy are both undefeated right now.
Really?
And they have a chance at staying undefeated the rest of their schedule. I think one of them has a tough matchup though. I can't remember who it is now. But I think it's hard not to put at least 6 SEC teams this year. Because there's just so much talent in the SEC, and
it's a war zone this year
Yeah,
at SEC.
and it's hard to deny it. I mean,
like you can't afford to lose a game right now. I
No.
feel like in the SEC.
because if you drop a game, then that team just jumps right over you,
Yeah.
and then what happens? All right, move to the NFL. Panthers beat the Raiders 36-22. Clearly, I think we can say Bryce Young was the problem for the Panthers. Andy Dalton, they got a pocket passing quarterback who is a veteran. He's experienced. He's led teams before. And who I think is a really good quarterback. I think he's a serviceable quarterback by any means. And I mean, I wouldn't say they got together because they beat the Raiders. Yeah. But they got a win that they really needed. For the fan base, for the team, the morale. I mean, everyone needed that win and around that organization.
I've seen arguments that are like, well, of course, Andy Dalton, the veteran, played better than, is it Young's second year?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think he'll do better on a different team, just not the Panthers.
Yeah, but
I think he gets
my thing with Bryce Young, his problem is he don't step up in the pocket because of course he can't see over the offensive line, so he back up too far in the pocket, and of course
he's 5'9", looking over 6'3" guys.
Yeah, so of course the line gonna blow up fast. You backing up so far,
it's easy for them to get pressure on the edges. Yeah, I agree. Eagles beat Saints 15-12. I wouldn't say I'm shocked by it, but I thought the Saints were going to beat them. I think the Saints are still a really good team, and they just underperformed this game.
Yeah. They just running man coverage on the 3rd and 16 and giving up a 60-yard drag like it's Madden or something like that. That was.
And if you see how it happened, it was because two guys ran into each other.
Yeah, that too.
Gave a 60-yard drag up to Dallas Goedert.
And then Derek Carr threw that pick and got up and started limping. Like, there's nothing wrong with you, man. You just threw a pick.
You're overdoing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking about the city of New Orleans is no longer safe.
Yeah.
No clue what's going to happen with the Saints team.
I think the police are probably begging the team to win some more
That's
games.
awful, man. Come on, that's not what I meant. I meant, okay. All right.
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
No. Packers defeat Titans 30-14. Malik Willis proves that he should have been the pick for the Titans instead of Will Levis.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, y'all. I had some doubts about Malik Willis. I didn't think we was going to win 2 games with him.
He's a good quarterback.
He actually is a big
It reminds me of Tyler Huntley a little bit, like a really good backup quarterback, but probably won't start for any team.
Yeah, of course he didn't throw the ball that much, but when we needed him to throw the ball downfield, he actually made the throws. And it was funny. I don't know if y'all see the Titans fans that talk trash to the players before. They was talking trash to Christian Watson, Emmanuel Wilson, and Jaden Reed, and they kept telling them they wasn't gonna do nothing. All the players they said wasn't gonna do nothing scored. Each and every last one of them.
I think what helps Malik Willis also ran the ball really well.
Yeah.
I mean,
we let him use it. We played to his strengths.
Play to his strengths. They have a playbook that already kind of plays like that because Jordan Love can also kind of move.
Yeah.
And he's a really good passer though. Yeah. Which I think if Malik Willis grows his passing game, he could be a starter for some teams. Yeah. I just don't think a lot of teams will give him a shot.
I would say by the end of this season, it'll be some calls.
For sure.
My favorite thing about this Titans team is every week you get a new Will Levis photo of him just doing something.
He got sacked 7 times, man.
That's not a good football team.
Yeah. That's
not a good. I don't think he helps. But
he's not making plays, but as soon as the play started, it's a 300-pound man already on you like that. You can't really do much.
One game that surprised me was the Vikings-Texans, 34-7. Sam Darnold outdueling every quarterback he's played so far. Yeah. Sam Darnold could be the truth. He's also still really young. He's 27.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of teams gave up on him early. I gave up on him early.
I did too, yeah.
And now that he's playing and performing with a team that can play around him, I think he could be their franchise guy. Over J.J. McCarthy, I really think Sam Darnold could be the guy.
It's going to be a battle next offseason for him.
My only thing is one of them can pass and one of them hands the ball off really well. And the one who hands the ball off really well isn't playing right now.
Yeah.
All those to no fault of his own, he is injured. But still.
So do you think the Vikings would be doing as good as they are right now with McCarthy?
I think they
But I will give credit.
Y'all
know the Vikings, out of all the teams in my division, I hate the Vikings the most. But that defense has also got to be given some credit too.
They're really good.
The first 3 weeks, that defense has been really, really good.
Yeah, they stopped a really good Texans offense too.
Yeah.
They have three really. They probably have the best receiving core in football, I'd say. They have a lot of young guys and they have a lot of experience mixed in, and then they have a good quarterback. So, Rams beat the Niners 27-24. Niners blow a lead.
I felt like the offensive production just halted at some point, and then
it does hurt when your best player's out, and now he's going to Germany to see a specialist. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
I will say though, Brock Purdy being without his weapon showing me that I knew he was a good quarterback, but it's just showing me that he is a very good quarterback.
He's playing really well without some weapons, yeah. He only has 4 Pro Bowlers now.
Hoping those German.
George Kittle has not been producing.
George Kittle hasn't been playing.
He was out this week.
Yeah,
The only person he had this week was Ayuk.
Yeah, I knew that.
And Jawan Jennings was the leader.
Jawan Jennings had a really
he had
solid
175 yards.
He's wide receiver 4 on fantasy right now. Yeah. He's had a great year. I forgot George Kittle was
He probably would have won Super Bowl MVP if they won.
The great words of LeBron James. He said the German doctors were good, so I hope that means hope that means something.
That's what they say.
And the Chiefs defeat the Falcons in the fluke game that didn't actually happen. The referees helped the Chiefs win, and the Falcons had it won if they didn't miss a PI in the end zone.
I will say, they did make up for it in the next drive. They got y'all down the field. They just an outside run on 4th and inches.
Yep.
That made no. Just run it up the middle, man.
Yeah.
At least from what I saw, I thought the Falcons were the better team throughout.
They played better.
I did too.
But the Chiefs got stops when they needed to.
Yeah, they got calls when they needed to too.
Always. You know you're gonna play against the rest when you play the Chiefs though.
Yeah.
You just gotta.
It just hurt. Yeah, that was a dumb call. The 4th down, you're running it to the outside.
Outside, like just you got Bijan running up the middle.
Quarterback sneak it or run it up the middle.
You can't quarterback sneak it with Kirk. Yeah.
But running up the middle with your round 1 running back who has proved that he can do
or
that.
Algier, just make something.
Or get a fullback.
Yeah.
The best position in football. Most underappreciated position in football, fullback. So, that's my rant. Bills beat Jaguars 47-10. I think it's slowly becoming truer and truer that Trevor Lawrence is not the second coming of Peyton Manning.
No.
And that he's actually the second coming of Carson Palmer.
Blake Bortles.
I don't know if he's that bad.
Yeah, he ain't that bad.
But I'd
Blake
say
Bortles did make an AFC
should
championship.
have made the Super Bowl if he didn't get cheated out of it.
Yeah.
I would say he's kind of Carson Palmer. Maybe not quite that good, actually. Maybe Alex Smith.
Alex Smith is a better compare. I was gonna say Carson.
Number 1 overall pick.
I was gonna say Joe Burrow reminded me of Carson Palmer a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence has not been playing well. The Jaguars haven't really been playing well in general.
And the thing is, you can blame coaching, but I mean, they building around him. He's just not.
He's not producing.
Producing.
No, I agree. And the Bills are also a really good team.
Yeah.
And I think they're even better now that Stephon Diggs is gone because
I said they was gonna win in the
Josh Allen doesn't have someone yelling in his ear the whole time about how bad he is.
They'll be winning. He'll still find a way to power.
Yeah, the team's together now. Yeah. It's not a split team. Commanders beating the Bengals surprised me a little bit, but I do think Jaden Daniels is
very good.
Going to be the best.
I watched that whole game. I just when he made that touchdown pass to Terry, I got up out of my seat.
Breadbasket.
Yeah,
that's the best. That's the best pass Terry McLaurin has ever received.
I got up out of my seat when he made that touchdown.
I think it might be a repeat of last season where the second pick in the draft is a more standout quarterback than the first pick.
I could have told you that going into this. I thought Jaden Daniels was the most complete player going into the draft.
I mean, his play style just translates the best with an NFL offense.
He's big.
Yeah.
In the sense that he's tall, he's lanky, he can move. He has a really good arm.
Good arm, yeah.
He can read a field. There's not much going against him. He's skinny.
The only thing that worried me when he was his senior year at LSU was he would just take.
He takes every hit.
He takes too many hits.
That's his only problem.
I don't want another RG3.
No, if he can slide, don't stay on your feet all the time. He will be good for the next.
Also, he had more touchdowns than incompletions. That's one of the best. That's one of the best. In 10 years, maybe 5 years, when they have a montage of best rookie QB performances, that's gonna be there.
He'll be maybe number 1. It's gonna be right up top.
You saw what Cade Klubnik did against App State. Wanted to show that in the NFL.
Yeah, because they have a lot of connections.
Yeah.
Former Arizona State quarterback Jaden Daniels and Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik. All right, Premier League, Riley. This is your expertise.
So I'll run through the games this weekend pretty fast. Liverpool dominated Bournemouth. Really not much to say. I thought Bournemouth was a dark horse this season. They're not.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Man City had a draw. There's a lot of drama in that game that could go on for 20 minutes with refs and different players throwing balls at other players' heads. And then Brighton tied with Nottingham Forest. draw to Nottingham Forest. I think they're an underrated team this year. Not Brighton, but Nottingham Forest.
I mean, they beat us.
I think they're actually a decent team. But more importantly, I think the biggest thing, because it's the beginning of the season.
Brighton, man. Just stinky.
But all of our teams have gotten some new transfers, some new players. And starting off with Arsenal, they have Riccardo Calafiori from Bologna. I want to say Bologna, but that's not how you spell it. But he's like Bologna might be it. I don't know.
Bologna?
One of those things in Italy, and he's a great left back, great center back. I think it's probably their best pickup. And then they have the Spanish midfielder Mikel Merino, played great in the Euros, and I think even though he injured his shoulder the first week of practice, so he's out for 2 months. Seems a little strange to me. And moving on to Liverpool, they have their new manager Arne Slot. I think Liverpool might be the most complete team at the moment. And then also Federico Chiesa from Juventus, another great pickup. And the best team in the Premier League, Brighton. All right. So we have our new manager, Fabian Herzler, born in Austin, Texas. Interesting that we have an American manager.
Got Ted Lasso.
Yeah, but he won Premier League Manager of the Month his first month, which compared to what he was up against is pretty good. Then we got some great signings. Yankuba Minte, the Gambian international. He's fantastic. Matt O'Reilly and Ferdy Kadioglu, two other great, huge signings. I think we're winning it all this year, and I definitely do not think that's a major overreaction. And I'm saying that completely unbiasedly. I think we might be the best team in the world. If you put us up against Real Madrid right now, we'd win.
I like your confidence.
In FIFA on rookie mode.
Yeah, okay, that's what I feel.
But yeah,
Y'all are not the next Real Madrid.
That's only Chelsea.
Chelsea coming soon. That's never happening. Let's jump into overtime, Chris. Let's talk about the best playoffs going on right now.
WNBA playoffs, man. They just started Sunday afternoon. I got to see a little bit of the Fever and Sun game. It was interesting at first, then it kind of turned into a blowout. I didn't even think to tune into the Dream and Liberty game because that's going to be a sweep. But should be good. I was going to ask y'all, if y'all have been watching, who do y'all think is going to win the finals this year? It's a mix between me. It's either the Liberty or Minnesota.
I feel like the Aces are just...
My thing with the Aces, they're
just playoff ready every
year. They playoff ready, but this year they haven't looked.
I do agree. Regular season,
like some games, it seemed like it's just Asia Wilson versus the other team.
But she did bring them back in game one.
Yeah, in game one. But eventually, that's gonna tire her out. Yeah.
I still think they're gonna win. It's what
I can see them.
Are they going for a three-peat this year?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, three-peat.
I think they have so many players. I think Liberty are really good too. I thought they were going to win last year, honestly.
I would like to see the Aces, but I just don't see it.
I think either Aces or Liberty. Those are my two picks. I think the Fever are too young.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Sun have it right now. No. I think Minnesota's good, but I don't think they're experienced enough to beat a team like the Aces or the Liberty, honestly.
Yeah, from what my ESPN app tells me, almost every 15 minutes when Caitlin Clark's playing, they're the best team in the WNBA. She gets fouled, got the notification popping up on my phone.
They know how to make their money.
Her shot gets blocked, notification pops up.
Right.
Happens when you're a hooper, though.
Yeah.
You got it. Help lead her team to the playoffs for the first time in...
I don't remember the last time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been
like a decade.
Yeah. Riley?
I'm just going to run down some, major soccer events that happened over the summer. We had the Euros, which Spain won. They have probably the two best young players in the world right now, with Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. One is the next coming of Messi, and the other one is just also really great. And then we had the Copa America, where Argentina won against Colombia. Not a surprise. I think the biggest thing that happened there was how bad security was in Miami for that event. But you can't blame the U.S. for it. It's actually CONMEBOL's fault since they hired all the security and everything. So I think we should still host a good World Cup. And then the most surprising thing to me is we actually have a decent manager for our U.S. men's national team, Mauricio Pochettino. Will he help us out? Probably not, because we're USA in soccer.
I think USA soccer, the issue isn't with the top. I think it's the bottom. We don't build well.
Yeah.
We need to destroy the structure and rebuild from the ground up, and we can't put that much money into it. I think starting at youth, we're already in a bad spot, and I think it continues at the high school level. It continues at the leagues right under the MLS, and then the MLS is in trouble too. I think it's just built very poorly.
The only thing that I think's helping is that I feel like a generation coming up that soccer's becoming more popular, especially what Christian Pulisic's doing. He's doing stuff that I'm not going to say any American athlete, but he's doing something from an American athlete in Europe in soccer that I don't think anyone's ever seen before. He might be one of the best American athletes ever, but I don't know where he's on that list.
I don't know if I'd say that, but
You got to look at who he's playing with and who he's going up against. And he's their best player right now in Italy.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I'm on Jey Uso hate watch. He beat Braun Breaker. I'm not happy. Braun Breaker just won the title, and he kind of got screwed, I feel like. I think he should have held the title longer, but maybe it'll lead to better things.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really. I mean, and you don't have to have a belt to wrestle. I don't get why they keep doing it. Yeah, people had a belt to WrestleMania.
That's fair.
Then lose.
He only had it for 50 days. I feel like that's not very long for a guy
Not
trying
long,
to build
but-
as your next big thing.
Not long, but I mean, I don't think the feud over, and also I think they're trying to, like you said, pushing a better.
I think they'll make him babyface and push him to the world title.
Yeah.
I think it's the next big thing for the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all we have. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.